when you have, size and toughness, that goes along with, you look at someone like P.J. Tucker, great player. It's not about him knocking down shots. It's about what he does. Whether it's on the defensive end or, rebounding the ball. Plays with so much energy, and he's tough. Like, he's just physical. I'll be lying if I say that, we've had, those type of guys. I think, physicality, especially once you get to the playoffs or the later rounds, you need that. You need those guys that are, really tough. We never have P.J. Tucker. That's really what I'm trying to say.
This Sixers offseason has got a lot more interesting over the past couple days as we approach the NBA draft coming up very soon on Thursday night. In the days leading up to the draft, there have been so many rumors talking about the Philadelphia 76ers, what they might plan to do involving trades and free agency signings. But one player has potentially become available and has been reported to be linked to the Sixers, having mutual interest between the two parties. That player is P.J. Tucker, and I think he would be the perfect fit for what the Philadelphia 76ers are trying to do in winning a championship. Now, as much as I'd like to get P.J. Tucker, there's also some drawbacks to the Sixers potentially offering him a contract. So let's get into it. So, Miami Heat forward P.J. Tucker has opted out of his player option for this upcoming season and will become an unrestricted free agent heading into this free agency period in the 2022 NBA offseason. It is being reported that the Sixers and P.J. Tucker have mutual interest and that the Sixers are willing to offer him a 3-year, $30 million contract at age 37, which seems a little ridiculous. But just to continue, the Sixers don't have quite enough cap space to be able to do that as of now, so they would have to be able to clear cap space in order to get that done. Now, there's also been reports saying that the Sixers have been shopping Matisse Thybulle and the 23rd overall pick. Woj went on ESPN yesterday and said that if you're an opposing GM and you have not gotten an offer that involves Matisse Thybulle and the 23rd pick, then you haven't been picking up the phone. So it seems that the Sixers are really shopping Thybulle and this pick in order to try to move cap space around. But there's more. It says that they're trying to move Thybulle and this pick in a 3-team deal that helps facilitate getting P.J. Tucker to the Sixers, but they would also be moving Thybulle for something else, and it wouldn't just be so that they could sign P.J. Tucker. Now, I don't know if that's future draft picks, future assets. I don't know what that is. If it's just for the purpose of signing P.J. Tucker, I don't know if I like it. And that's what I have to be honest with is I like Matisse Thybulle. I also would not be completely opposed to trading Matisse Thybulle, but what I will say is I don't think that trading him and a first-round pick just to get off salary so you can sign a 37-year-old player, most likely to a deal that would be overpaying him for sure, $10 million a year for a 37-year-old player that could be on the decline, I don't really agree with. I definitely think there's other ways you could probably get that done. Again, I don't know 100% all the specifics of it, but I do know Danny Green, you could get off his salary that he would be making if you just don't pick up his option or you end up trading him somewhere else to get something else in return. Probably have enough space to sign P.J. Tucker, or you could move a player like Furkan Korkmaz, who I believe is making $5 million per season for the next 2 years. You could get off his contract as well, and you might be able to have enough money to add P.J. Tucker to the roster. Now, I also wanted to mention that there have been reports saying that the Sixers have been shopping Tobias Harris, like I previously talked about in my last video. I said that I thought that Sixers offseason plan was to trade Tobias Harris, which seems like it's actually true because the reports are that he's being shopped, but the thing is they're having a hard time getting teams to take on that salary and his contract because, let's face it, he's got one of the worst contracts in the entire NBA. It makes complete sense why a team wouldn't want to take him on. So maybe the Sixers have been trying to trade Tobias Harris, and that would be another way to clear cap space so you could sign not just P.J. Tucker, but other free agents as well, and even do some other trades. But no one really wants to take on that contract. So maybe the Sixers are going to keep together this core of Embiid, Harden, Maxey, and Harris. If they can't find a deal they like for Tobias. Yeah, that might be also why they're trying to trade Matisse and this 23rd overall pick to clear more salary and to also get something back in return. It really depends on what you can get back in return for Thybulle, because if you can get something back in return that's decent as well as clearing cap space to get P.J. Tucker, then I wouldn't be so mad at it. But if you're just clearing Thybulle for the sole purpose of getting rid of his contract so that you can sign a 37-year-old free agent, I'm not so sure I'm in love with that idea. But yeah, it's definitely a tough situation if you're the Sixers. And as a Sixer fan, I'd love to have PJ Tucker on this team. I think he's a great leader. He's a great player. Well, not a great player, but he's a good player. He's a good depth piece that could bring to this team some leadership, some effort, some intensity, just toughness that this team lacked last season. The team talked about it following their disappointing playoff loss to the Heat. They talked about their lack of toughness. Embiid specifically name-dropped PJ Tucker as a guy that they wish they had on that team. And Tobias Harris said that one of the team's biggest weaknesses was their toughness, their mindset, and they just lacked that. And PJ Tucker would definitely bring in some of that and fill that void that the Sixers desperately need. For them to potentially win a championship, they need a player just like that that can go and get an offensive rebound, get chippy, get scrappy, and just make the effort plays. It's not always about what PJ Tucker puts up in terms of points and hitting shots. It's everything else that he does, playing defense, just being a tough player on the court, 100% effort all the time. He's definitely a guy that Philly would be able to get behind. It just depends on the path to getting him and trying not to give up too much in order to bring in PJ Tucker, who again is 37 years old, will be 40 by the time a potential 3-year contract expires, and also making sure that you don't overpay for him as well. So I want PJ Tucker on this team. I think he would be a great fit. He shoots 40% from 3. He's a good rebounder. He's a very good defender, and he just brings that leadership, that championship mentality, that toughness. All these things that the Sixers lack, he brings to a team, and I would love to have him on this team. This offseason just got a whole lot crazier in a couple days. A lot of stuff to think about heading into the draft, which is coming up so quickly. But yeah, adding PJ Tucker I think would be a great addition. I would love it. It just depends on what you're giving up in order to bring Tucker in to Philly. But that's pretty much all I got for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think we should sign PJ Tucker? How much do you think we should pay him? What would you be willing to give up for him? Yeah, man, crazy stuff. By the way, shout out to DJ Eastwood and Run It Back Philly. This is actually a really nice t-shirt that I just bought. It's pretty cool. So if you haven't checked him out on YouTube, go check him out. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. So if you did enjoy, subscribe to the channel for more Sixers content and Eagles videos as well. And drop a like on this video to help push it out to other people. And that is pretty much all I got for this video. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.